Derica, thank you for waiting patiently. Go ahead, ma'am.
No problem. It's pronounced Derica.
Derica, sorry for saying your name
Oh
wrong.
no, it's absolutely fine. I wanna touch on every question that you asked. So if you don't mind, can you repeat the
Yeah,
questions?
yeah. So, I mean, what is your I mean, did you get an opportunity to hear the audio?
I did. I had the opportunity to hear the audio and I actually seen the video.
Okay, so just before we get into anything, what are your thoughts? What are just your honest, raw thoughts on the situation overall?
My honest thought overall is I have prayers for that young lady because she did not deserve that, especially if it was true that it happened because a man didn't want rejection. No woman should be subjected to abuse or even being targeted or attacked because she's uninterested in a man. Um, as far as the gentleman that did not assist her, I'm gonna be real. I think that it was very pussy of them to not do anything. And I'm gonna explain it like this. If you see a child being attacked, being abused, as an adult and as a man, are you not going to step in and assist that child? If so, why doesn't that same rule apply to women, specifically black women? We stand, we fight with our brothers, we are in the paint with our brothers on every social situation. But yet a woman gets attacked by a man because she told him no. And it's, oh, she's not my problem. She's not my mom. She's not my, but then the thing about it is men who don't take action, because I'm not saying you have to jump in and risk your life. There could have been other measures that could have been taken to get him arrested. You know what I'm saying? To get him to feel the ramifications of men who don't view it as a problem or who don't want to get involved. They enable that type of behavior. It's very enabling. You don't want to put him in check. I mean, I've seen women stand up for other women. I've seen women go toe to toe with men bigger than them because they see another woman being mistreated. And it's sad to say that women will put their lives on the line for other women and for men, but we can't expect that same thing from from our brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I personally wouldn't have, if I was there, I would have stepped in, regardless if it was me risking my life. At the end of the day, my moral compass would have fucked with me. I wouldn't have been able to go home and sleep witnessing a woman being assaulted because she simply told a man no. Um, and then you got to think, if we all follow that same mindset, like, we wouldn't have people in professions that are meant to help people. Imagine if we lived in a world where everybody was like, oh, it ain't my business, it ain't my business, it ain't my business. We wouldn't have doctors, we wouldn't have nurses, we wouldn't have police officers because everybody is too worried about themselves and too worried about minding their own business. As far as advocating for women to have weapons, I'm not advocating for that. I'm licensed to carry. I have several weapons, but I'm also trained in like hand to hand combat. So, you can't always depend on a weapon to to there can be times where your weapon jam or somebody overpowers you, so you still have to have sets to where you can get somebody off of you or get away from somebody. I'm more so advocating for men to step up and police their brethren, men to raise men and teach men that this is not okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, she was a woman who was assaulted because she didn't want to give her number to a man. That is the most ridiculous thing you can do to a woman because she told you no. It's like men don't understand the fear that women have when it comes to being around strangers,
Yes,
not
they
just
do.
but other men.
Yes, they
I
do.
hear the women in these comments can agree with me. There has been times to where I pulled up to a gas station and seen a fuck ton of dudes, and I would turn around and go somewhere else.
As
It's
you should.
I'm sorry.
I say as you should.
And it's scary and it's crazy because it's like we shouldn't have to live in a state of constant fear, constant anxiety, constant worry. You get what I'm saying? Like, we shouldn't have to we shouldn't have to survive off of that. We shouldn't have to go out. I get what you're saying as far as a man saying, oh, well, I'm trying to go home to my family. I'm trying to do this, that, and third. I ain't trying to lose my life. Y'all don't think we ain't trying to do the same thing? Especially if it's something that was unprovoked, as like something that just provokes somebody so much to just, you want to harm me because I'm not interested in you. There's times where, and I guess I'm pretty sure a bunch of women can agree with me on this. There's been times where I've given motherfuckers my number, knowing that if I don't, this situation might turn dangerous. So I'm feeling like I'm pressured to give you my number just to get you out my fucking face. Like, women shouldn't have to be subjected to that. Like, that causes so much anxiety, stress, PTSD on women to where we don't know if we're gonna come home. We don't know what we're gonna run into. I mean, we can go out and just want to have fun with our friends, and then we're being harassed because we're not interested in a group of men. Now we're being called the B word. Now we're being attacked. Like, at the end of the day, his actions, him causing her to have a concussion, him hitting her with that brick, that was absolutely horrifying. Like, she should not have been subjected to that. But it just hurts more to hear that men are okay with women being attacked as long as it's not their family member. Because then if you flip that, if that was your mom or your wife or your sister and you wasn't there to protect her and she was in that same situation, wouldn't you be mad that them niggas didn't do anything?
No,
Wouldn't you be? Oh, so you wouldn't be upset?
no. So
Okay.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you to finish. I don't want to cut you off because when
Oh
I
no,
start
go ahead
talking,
and because I don't want to
I
throw you
think
off from what your
okay.
answer would be.
Okay, I heard everything you said, and I do even though I'm not a woman, I do understand everything that you said. I have a mother, I have two sisters myself, and I know and understand what y'all are subjected to when you walk out of your home every day. But for you to say that you think that men think it's okay for women to be physically harmed as long as it's not their family member. I'm going to respectfully disagree with you on that. That's not what it is. At the end of the day, again, I don't know what other way to put this to you. Y'all are hearing brothers tell y'all verbally, if you are not my mother, if you are not my girlfriend, you are not my wife, you are not my sister, you are not my daughter, you are not a woman that I love and care about, if you are not a woman that loves and cares about me, if you are not a woman that has loyalty towards me, I am not going to step in and risk my life for you. If me as a man, if me as a young man, if I know that that is the mindset that majority of my brothers have, and I don't have anyone else to protect my mother, I don't have anyone else to protect my sisters, why would I risk possibly losing my life and not having anyone here to protect my mother and my sisters? And that's what y'all are choosing to purposely not understand. If it's your brother, if it's your dad, if it's a man that you love and care about, y'all are going to want that man to make it home at night. But again, it's the man that you don't know. It's the man that you don't love and that you don't care about. It's the man that you don't have any loyalty towards, so you don't care at the end of the day. And that's completely wrong. If a man if a man calls the authorities, because what I'm going to do, Darica, I'm going to call the authorities if I see something going on. That is the most that I'm going to do. I am going to call the authorities and go about my day. If you or any other woman on this panel or any other woman in here thinks it's cowardly that I'm not going to risk my life for you, then so be it. I'm going to be a coward. But at the end of the day, I'm going to make sure that I make it home and stay alive so I can protect and take care of the women that love and care about me and that have loyalty towards me. And as a woman, if you hear these brothers telling you this verbally, how I am telling you this, how Jacoy came up here and told you this, how you've heard countless of other men say and act on these things, it's only smart for you to take precautionary measures when you go outside. It's unfortunate. I'm not saying that it's a good thing that you have to be mindful of this, that, and the third, and that you might have to give your number or a fake number to a man simply because you don't know how he's going to react. But that is the reality that we live in.
So
We
you
can't live in a fairy tale, hypothetical, theoretical world. We need to live in reality.
So you
I'm
pretty much
done.
agree with what I said, because what I said earlier was there's several ways to handle a situation like that. Them men could have, like how you said you would have called the police. They didn't even give her that option. They didn't even care to do that. So I'm not saying jump in the paint, because you're absolutely right. This man may have a gun on him. You don't know what this man may have on him. His attitude towards you may be completely different than his attitude towards the young lady. Like hell, if he don't give a fuck about hitting a girl, he damn sure ain't gonna care about hitting a man. So I get that aspect. It's just the whole not doing anything. I'm not asking a man to jump in and risk his life. However, if you have the means of contacting the police or doing something that would help aid in this man being arrested, or him facing, criminal actions or criminal charges for his actions, then by all means do that. Because again, at the end of the day, that was a crime, and you're supposed to report crimes. But that's why I had mentioned earlier, if you were to see a child being attacked, what would your reaction be to a child being attacked? Would you have the same outlook?
I'm going to call the authorities, Darka.
Okay.
Like I told, look, Darka. Like I told Jacoy, and like I'm going to tell you. Let's just give a hypothetical.
Uh-huh.
Let's just say you're being harmed, and I
Uh-huh.
don't know you, and let's say I have a weapon on my person. Let's say I take out my weapon and I strike that man that I see is harming you, and me striking him for the meantime has him, is able to get him off of you and whatever he was doing to you. But let's say this man lives. It is very real out here in these streets, Darica. Revenge and get back is a real thing. So now my life is on the line. Now my safety is on the line because somebody's family member, somebody's son, somebody's brother, somebody's boyfriend, somebody's cousin, somebody knows that Noble struck them even though they were in the wrong. I don't know if you saw, do you know about the Carlicia Hood incident that happened in Chicago?
You talking about the young lady who lied about being
No, I'm
kidnapped?
talking about
Oh no, no, you're talking about the young lady whose son shot the
yes.
man
So you know
at
about that
the.
incident, right?
Yes.
Did you see what that man's family? Did you see that the aftermath? Did you see what that man's family was doing when that incident occurred?
I caught like a
Don't
news
worry about it.
clip
Don't worry
of
about it. That
the.
man's family was celebrating.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I see, yeah, 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 I see
Listen,
that.
they didn't care. They didn't care that he was unjustly striking a woman. They didn't care that he just got out of prison a couple weeks ago for domestic violence. They were celebrating his life. So whether it's a kid, whether it's a woman, I'm going to do what I need to do to get home and be alive and take care of the women that love and care about me. That's what it's going to be at the end of the day. So as a woman, if you're not going to take precautionary measures to protect you, if you're not bad, I'm a black man, I'm a young black man telling you this. There are other black men telling you this. Stop trying to fight it and do what you need to do to protect yourself. Stop trying to fight it.
Stop trying to fight what?
Stop trying to fight the fact that that majority of us are not going to step in and risk our lives to protect you. Stop trying to fight it.
So if we just eliminate that altogether, instead of telling women to protect themselves, don't you think it make more sense to tell men that, hey, stop attacking women? Like,
Who's
hey, don't
justifying
treat don't treat women like this.
Darica?
Because it
Who's
seems like
justifying?
because
Who's just
it seems like
Darica? Who's justifying this man's actions or any of these men's actions that do that? Who's justifying it?
by telling by by telling women, hey, protect yourselves, go do this, go do that. If you don't do it, then oh well. Pretty much saying oh well is like saying if it happens, it happens. You should have took the necessary measures to protect yourself. When at the end of the day, I just explained necessary measures doesn't always mean a woman can go get a gun and don't know how to shoot it. And even if you know how to shoot it, that doesn't mean that you're going to be in the right position, the right timing, the right frame to even utilize a weapon on a man who has the capabilities of taking a gun from you and using it on you. Like weaponizing yourself and using a weapon does not always work, is what I'm trying to get through to people. Like, you still need to learn combat. You still need to learn some type of hand to hand combat or something to where if your weapon fails, you still have a chance of escaping. However, we teach women these things all the time, but we don't take the same effort to teach men, to raise men, and to persecute men who just attack women. If men just don't attack women, then women wouldn't have a reason to have to walk around with a gun. Or, you get what I'm saying? Like, walk around in the fear that, hey, I may be attacked because I don't want to give this guy my number.
So Darica, so I just told you that I have a mother, that I have sisters myself, that I have a godmother, that I have women in my life that love and care about me deeply. So me telling women to protect themselves when they go outside and they're by themselves, you take that as me saying that a man attacking them because they reject them. You're saying that I'm justifying men's behavior by saying that.
What I'm saying is the effort that you're putting in telling women to protect themselves should be the same effort to tell men and to advocate for women and let men know that they're pieces of shit for attacking women. Because not once have you sat here and said that men need to do better. Men need to stop doing that. The entire time you've been talking to me, it's been women need to do this. Me as a man, I'm not going to do this because women need to do this. I'm not going to risk my life for a woman that I don't know because women need to do this. That's been the whole conversation.
Darica,
Saying,
Darica, how old are you?
I'm 35.
So I'm 26. Who tells you
You need to elaborate that a little bit. What you mean, tell me what to do in my life?
Are you a grown woman? Do you have a certain level of autonomy? Like, are you able to come and go as you please? Are you able to do what you want for the most part?
I am.
Okay. So when I want you to tell me since we've been here, when have I ever said, oh my gosh, it's so crazy that I have to, when have I ever said that it's okay for a man to be physically violent towards a woman just because he rejects her or in any other circumstance?
When did I say that you said that? I sat
Okay.
here
Let me
and
say something.
said,
Let me say something.
I literally said you have not once addressed the men who do
Okay,
this.
let me
You're
speak to that. Let me
addressing the
speak to that.
women.
Let me speak to that.
Okay.
I'm not. I can sit here and say men should do this, that, and the third all day. At the end of the day, these unhinged men are going to do what they're going to do. I have two sisters. I am not with my sister right now. God forbid something happens to my sisters. I tell my sisters the same thing that I'm telling you. And man, you're not always going to have a man that loves and cares about you there to protect you. So in the
So do you have
one second. In the instance that you do not have a man that loves and cares about you there to protect you, you need to be able to protect yourself. That is all I am saying. I am not justifying these men's behaviors. There are unhinged men out here, and you need to live your life like there are unhinged men out here. That is all I am saying.
And what I'm saying is you have not addressed the issue, which is the men. So let me ask you, are your, two questions. Are your sisters or the women in your life, are any of them registered to carry the firearms? Have they done anything for self-defense classes? Do they know how to defend themselves?
Some of them.
Okay. Question number 2. If you had a homeboy who was violent against women or just reckless, or if you knew of a man that was close to you, what would be your attitude towards them?
I wouldn't associate with a man like that. I don't associate with men that like that in my real life right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's all. Yeah, that's all I want to know.
Okay, but thank you, Darica. I'm gonna go on to the next person. All right. I appreciate you being
Okay.
up here.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me.
All right. You have a good one.